Prosperity and abundance to everyone tuning in. I am Mrs.Melanin Reigns, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be back with you all. So I have this comment here that I am actually going to respond to, and I wanted to do it sooner, so my apologies. But it says, I am so grateful I found your TikTok and YouTube channel. Everything be resonating. Please do a video on family court and child support. I don't trust family court. They'll twist and flip everything. Thank you for your videos. It is all confirmations for my soul and spirit. So I am first and foremost really grateful to know that it is resonating for you, and I trust and hope that it will be of help and assistance to you, because dealing with narcissistic abuse is really no joke. When it comes to family court, I always tell people to not go into it with an oblivious spirit. And it already sounds like you pretty much are up to date on real research in real time, people's everyday experiences. And I say that because most people go with this mindset, oh, court favors mothers, and mothers are able to do this and that in court, and that is not the truth, literally at all. So when it comes to family court, and I'll start with family court and then we'll move on to child support, you really have to understand, if you're dealing with a narcissist, which I'm assuming because you brought up my TikTok and you're speaking on this or asking about this subject, if you're dealing with a person who is a narcissist, you will have a situation where things are flipped onto you, and they will use the court as their stage. A lot of people think, well, if a person does something wrong, wouldn't they avoid the law? Wouldn't they avoid things like court and things like that? And no, one of the best tactics is to run to court. And if they don't run to court, even if you were the one to take them to court, what they will do is paint you out to be the perpetrator of abuse, perpetrator of discord, perpetrator of miscommunication. Everything they have done, almost, they will project onto you. And they use the court system as their stage. They use it as a form of abuse also. And when it comes to family court is no different than the people serving you at 7-Eleven or the people that's serving you at the drug and convenience store. And before they come to work, they might have drank something, or they might have, lit up something, and they're just coming to put in their work and get up out of there. So some of the workers will do their work and their job to the best of their ability. Other ones of them are just doing what they can get away with and get past. So these people are going through a lot of cases. That's number one. The majority of them are not dealing with these cases in a way where they are actually being soft and taking the opportunity to really understand the different circumstances. They're going off of general things, general information, and the stereotypes you see online. It's the same stereotypes that these judges, lawyers, all of these people carry. And there's corruption in the system, but I'm not even talking about corruption per se. I'm talking about the fact that you're dealing with a human. A lot of humans, more humans than not, are programmed. And when it comes to family court and things of that nature, people have a general mindset that both parents need to be involved. That's in the best interest of the child. And there's a lot of times when that is simply not true, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. So when it comes to family court, I don't want to talk on too long, but what I want you to know is you go in there, and before you even step in there, you need to be warring in the spirit. You need to go about this whole entire thing with this narcissist, and you need to fight it in the spirit first. Most of the time, when the things that will come to you and just naturally align, like if you just, for some reason, you choose a lawyer and they resonate with you truly, you can't just get a lawyer. You have to get a lawyer who is this may seem complicated, but it is the truth. The best bet is you want to align with people, places, and things in this situation pertaining to this narcissist that are of the spirit. And when I say of the spirit of the Most High, that is the greatest help, because majority of people, they may not be malicious, but they are programmed. That includes the judges, that includes the lawyers, that includes the child advocates, that includes all the people everybody. They're not excluded because they have degrees. They're not excluded. Now, I'm not knocking their experience in dealing with these circumstances, but I can guarantee you, I've seen so many people's custody order, and they're pretty much just the same thing all over the place. It's robotic. It's not catered to what is actually in the best interest of the child. Family court will rush the child when it comes to like visitation. They are more likely to still put the child in the arms of an abuser. When it comes to child support now, narcissists especially will go out of their way to prevent child support. It does not matter how much money they're making. They will go out of their way to prevent child support. And a lot of times you have some of them who will duck and dodge it, but nowadays more so you will see the ones who will try to take full custody of the child and drop the child off with this person and that person. They're not going to actually invest their time to be with the child, spend time with the child, allow the child to grow through the different things that they grow through, especially depending on what age that child is. They don't care nothing about that child. They don't care nothing about you either. They don't care nothing about themselves, if we're being honest. So it becomes complicated because they go out of their way to prevent paying for child support. And a lot of times the child gets used as a pawn. The child gets used and put into positions where they're neglected because by any means necessary, they want to avoid paying that child support. I have not been to child support court, so I do not have the actual experience to let you know, but I do know that narcissists get very creative. And what I'm seeing a lot of people do right now, especially the men, we don't talk too much about the men and taking women to court, or that we don't talk too much about the men when it comes to the techniques they use to dodge child support. I see a lot of them, and even in the manosphere, if you've seen any of the things that they talk about over there, they're teaching men what to say to allege that the child was abused, or to do creative things that will put them in the power position. And again, this is not because their child is in danger. This is not because they care and want to really secure the child, make sure that the child is okay and has everything that they need, which, you know, is a whole different story. But they do it maliciously. So you sound like you already know what you're doing. You sound like you already are aware. You have to have the awareness. The awareness is the first step, because people who go into those places thinking that their child will be protected from SA, or their child will be protected from domestic violence or abuse, they really get their heart broken, because that is not what family court is going to do for you. Things will have to already have escalated to a borderline fatal position for them to take any action or care or be able to help. Most times they just give you the same schedule they give everybody else, with very few modifications. And like I said, they run that thing just the way the dude at 7-Eleven is handling his job, the lady at McDonald's is handling her job. Is somebody coming in, putting in their hours and work to get their money, and they're going to do that efficiently some days, and a lot of days they won't. There are very few people who are actually passionate about it and gifted by the Most High to be in that line of work. You will come across those people, and everything works out. Hopefully this did not, I don't want to say this to discourage you. I want to clarify that. I did not say this to discourage anybody. I just want to be honest, because if you know beforehand, then you know not to internalize the things that happen there, because family court is traumatic. It's traumatic. It's only not traumatic to narcissists and their enablers. They get a high. It's like a dopamine rush from things like that. So, don't internalize those things. You fight for your baby and put your plan together. You don't put your faith in that court, but you don't have to go there with a negative mindset either. Again, this is about awareness, not about being defeated. Organize your stuff to the best of your ability. Don't feel any type of way when they don't really look through all of the evidence. Again, these people is just like how a bunch of people are going into McDonald's and they try to get them out of there as soon as possible. That is the same thing with family court. So I hope that this has really helped you. I wish you well. I wish your family well. And thank you for supporting the channel.